It's a good day for anime. Welcome to Not Enough Anime. So here it finally is. Part 2 of my 5-part miniseries detailing my personal top 5 anime of spring 2021. So for rank number 4, we have 86. 86 is a Japanese science fiction light novel series written by Asato Asato and illustrated by Shirabi. The anime series, which premiered in April 2021, was produced by A1 Pictures and directed by Toshimasa Ishii, with Toshiya Ono writing the scripts, Tatsuya Kawakami designing the characters, and Hiroyuki Sawano and Kota Yamamoto composing the music. Now, I know that this is a split core anime and that the next core would be aired this coming October, but the first half is just so good. It's not without its flaws though. So what are those flaws? Let's find out together. According to the Republic of San Magnolia, their ongoing war against the Giadian Empire has no casualties. However, that is mere propaganda. While the silver-haired Alba of the Republic's 85 sectors live safely behind protective walls, those of different appearances are interned in a secret 86th faction. Known within the military as the 86, they are forced to fight against the Empire's Autonomous Legion under the command of the Republican handlers. Vladilena Milize is assigned to the Spearhead Squadron to replace their previous handler. Shunned by her peers for being a fellow 86 supporter, she continues to fight against their inhumane discrimination. Shinei Nozen is the captain of the Spearhead Squadron. Infamous for being the sole survivor of every squadron he's been in, he insists on shouldering the names and wishes of his fallen comrades. When the fates of these young souls from two different worlds collide, will it ignite the spark that lights their path to salvation, or will they burn themselves in the flame of despair? So let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. Yes, there is some depiction of fantasy racism in this anime. I mean, just hearing about the synopsis would remind you of a few things, and maybe even one particular person. It also doesn't help that all of the Alba have white skin, silver hair, and blue eyes. It really doesn't help. Remember when I said that the anime is not without its flaws? I was mainly talking about this. If this is something that you absolutely don't want in any part of your anime, then you should steer clear. If you're willing to look past the basic premise and dive into the world of 86, you may just find more things you like than you hate in the anime. Now, do I really need to say anything about the music? The music is by the Hiroyuki Sawano. You know, he's the guy in charge of the music of Guilty Crown, the whole Attack on Titan franchise, Seraph of the End, Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress, you get the picture. The man is a legend. You can expect some great music when his name is involved, and he delivers it steaming hot in this anime. Suffice to say, the music direction and composition is really good. I really can't complain about it. The animation is a little more complex than the music. A1 did an absolute banger job of animating the series in general, and this is probably the anime with the best animation this season. Yes, even better than Vivy. I especially like the direction and the small things that most people may take for granted. The show is incredibly detailed and it does really well showing the divide between 86 and Major Milize. There were truly some moments that I had to replay just because the animation and the art direction during those moments were unbelievable. The way they show the passage of time, the timing of when they cut the music and when they stitch the two perspectives together, the way they present the two perspectives in a way that you won't miss any details from either side, it was all so well done. What brought the animation quality down for me was the CG animation. Now don't get me wrong, compared to most of the other anime utilizing 3D CG out there, this is a masterpiece. But that's about it. The way they move is just clunky at times and flaws begin to unravel the more the CG is used. Close-ups, however, were very good and filled with so much detail. I know I may be nitpicking right now, but I really had to in order for me to rank the top 5 as they are. The story is by no means perfect as evidenced by the glaring thing that I mentioned earlier, but that's more a background thing than the main focus of the show. Going into the anime, one might expect a war-focused anime filled with big fights, big mecha, and big action. Well, if you went in expecting those, then expect to be mildly disappointed as while they're present in the show, they're absolutely not the main focus at all. I even find some of the fights to be a bit dull, which doesn't detract from the show in any way. 86 is, at its core, a story about war and a story about discrimination. And rather than taking the action-heavy route, they chose the heavy character development route. The first core of the anime covers the first volume of the light novel series, which is pretty unusual as usually a core would cover 2 to 3 volumes. You can tell the director really took his time building the world and the main characters, so the story may feel slow at times for others, but it feels just right for me. There's actually a lot to unpack in the 86 world. which is why I'm glad they're taking the slow and steady route to building the world and characters rather than rushing it and giving us just action scenes upon action scenes. The anime does a great job of humanizing the characters and making you feel as if you have a connection to them. I'm not gonna lie, the first few episodes I was really irritated at Major Melise because she kinda has this white savior complex that I thought would persist throughout the series, but I'm glad that that was remedied toward the end. The anime also doesn't shy away from showing you the realities of war and discrimination that these children face. People die left and right in the anime, sometimes even off screen. I especially like that they didn't make big spectacles of characters' deaths, because that's been a major gripe of mine for other anime. What's even better is that the anime does well to remind us that these are in fact just kids. They were kids who were forced to stand and fight in the front lines. We can see them having fun, we can see them building romances and playing around just like other children would. But they also show us how all of what's happening around them affects them emotionally. It's great. It really is. Now, some may say that the more casual episodes distract from the main plot of the show, but I say that it just adds more to the characterization of the characters. Admittedly, Major Melise in this first cour mostly felt like a god looking down on the 86, feigning concern for them as she eats strawberry shortcakes back home. Fortunately, the 86 makes this clear to her as well, and we do see gradual changes from her, and hopefully when the second cour comes, this character arc reverse comes full circle as she goes to the field to help the 86 in their endeavors. There are still so many things I want to say about the series, but any more would be too much of a spoiler already. Overall, while it had more flaws than Vivy from a story perspective, the overall directing of the series is miles better, which is why I put it above Vivy for the rankings. Otherwise, they're very close. If you can get past the fictional racism thing, there's a lot that this anime can offer, and I highly recommend that you give this one a watch. So there you have it, my top 4 anime for spring 2021. We have 3 more anime to go and it only gets better from here on out. So please don't forget to like and subscribe so you can be notified of when I release the rest of my videos on this mini-series. Thank you so much for watching, this has been Mav of Not Enough Anime, see you next time.